Good evening. This is Taylor from thetradinganalyst.com, and I'm going to go over some chart requests that we've received from some people here, and hopefully you can learn a thing or two. As always, if you have any questions, you can reach out to me, and I'd be more than happy to answer them. All right, so let's get into this chart. This first chart, WNR. First thing I'm seeing is some resistance around $30 from the lows right here, right here. You can see that we came back up and got rejected right there. And then I'm seeing some resistance, obviously, from the 200-day moving average is going to be right there. And then if you look here, we've got an uptrend line right here. So if you're bullish on this stock, you want to see this uptrend line hold. And then as far as support, that's a nice support there just below $23. You can see that it was resistance here. We broke over it, retested it. So now it's support just below $23. So the main things I'm seeing here, $23 support, $30 resistance. Has an okay look to it. We're seeing an increase in volume, so that's always good, especially if you see it after a stock has been in a downtrend for a while. Usually high volume areas mark tops and bottoms, and obviously this is not a top, so it's not necessarily a bottom, but it's definitely not a top. So I like the increase in volume down here. But as far as right now, we are having a bit of resistance above us. Now the biggest resistance that I'm seeing on the chart is up here, anywhere between 42 and about $48. You can see how it just gets really thick in here, a lot of sideways trading action. So just be aware of all these levels for WNR. All right, we're going to get to the next chart here, SGBY. And SGBY, oh, this is not SGBY. Okay, well, it's not coming up. Let's see, did I do that wrong? Yeah, I'm not sure if that's the wrong symbol or not, but it's not coming up on my program. All right, so KMB. All right, so KMB, we've got big time resistance up here at 138. You can see that we've got two rejections up there. We broke the 200-day moving average, so definitely like stocks. I like to be long on stocks above that 200-day moving average. So not saying that it's headed lower, but just like to see stocks above that 200-day moving average. I'm going to draw some support down here. Main support I'm seeing is right around 104. You can see a bounce right here, several bounces right here as well. The next support I'm seeing is right around 118. You can see that it was resistance, broke over it, bounced here, and then catapulted up from there. So 118 approximately is going to be that next support. And I'm also potentially going to be able to draw, that's a decent downtrend line. So that could be resistance. You can see how many times it's hit this downtrend line. So it's following that angle. So not really my favorite stock to be long on at the moment. Kind of a no touch for me at this moment, but those are the main levels that I'm seeing on this stock chart. All right, next let's take a look at THLD. Actually, I'm going to look at THLD as well as see which my favorite is, PGH. And I'll choose one of these. All right, I'll go with THLD. All right, so THLD, as you can see, we had this gap down here. rejected at it, and then we broke over that resistance right here, and you can see this volume by price bar. Volume by price is a real thing. It's just another way of looking at volume rather than, you know, the volume per each day. The volume at price show you volume at a certain price level. So that creates a support and resistance level. So now that we're above this level, okay, which is the biggest volume by price bar on the entire chart, that's going to be some big time support. So down here at about 73 cents is going to be support. And then we've got the next resistance isn't really until 264 because of the lows of all these candles. So support down here and resistance up here. And we also got a little bit of an uptrend line right here. You can see that we bounced from it several times right there in the near future. We're also above the 200-day moving average. So that's positive. We've got a lot of volume coming into this stock, so definitely looks pretty decent here. All right, next let's take a look at Apple. If you're interested in Apple, you can look at the video I did previously. It was the last video I did on the YouTube channel, so you can just go back one video and it'll be there. Just want to give my comments here. Most investors are predicting a crash of about 5 to 10%. Who the hell cares what quote-unquote most investors are saying? That's kind of an arbitrary number. And the U.S. presidential election has nothing to do with Apple. So I would suggest not really including that in your analysis. All right, let's take a look at, let's pick one of these, CYH or FDC. All right, let's go with CYH. All right, so CYH, let's see what I can see here. The first thing I'm seeing is a downtrend line right here. And also a channel as well. So here's a channel trading within this channel right here, and we're coming up to the upper end of that channel. So a break over this trend line would be very bullish for this stock. Okay, very bullish. So we're going to run into the 200-day moving average next, potentially. Just be aware of that that's going to be the next resistance, is that 200-day moving average. Again, with this volume by price bar, we're below it, so that's going to be resistance. Biggest resistance is still above us. So if we break over the downtrend line, we're going to have resistance from the biggest volume by price bar as well as the 200-day moving average. But we can definitely hit that if we break over this downtrend line. That would be very bullish, and look for it to break over both of those other resistance levels that I mentioned, because once it does that, you know, the biggest resistance isn't really until all the way up here near about $37. Okay. All right, next let's take a look at AWR. So kind of choppy right here, you know, not really seeing any reliable patterns at the moment. Have an uptrend line here, touch here, 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 and here. And that's really the only thing that I'm seeing. There's, you know, quite a bit of resistance in this area above us. Right here, about $44. You can see that it's gotten rejected several times right there. So if you're bullish on this stock, you want to see this 39 level hold, these previous lows right here. You don't want to have it make another lower low, and you want to see this uptrend line hold right here. But other than that, you know, it's kind of a chop zone. Not really that interested in this stock. All right. Earnings was awesome. FNSR. Alright, let's see. Did they have an earnings announcement today? I'm going to check the minute chart to see if we've had some after hours. Okay, yeah, so it's at $26 after hours. So that's not reflected on the current chart right here. So we broke these previous highs, and I'm going to look on the weekly chart, see if there's anything else I can see. So $26 would certainly be bullish for this stock, FNSR. We're above these previous two highs. That is bullish. Just be aware, and this is the weekly time frame, just in case you missed that. We've got resistance up here at $28. You can see that over here we got rejected there, and then over here we got rejected over there. If we manage to break over that $28, you can see that there's resistance up here at about $43.50. Okay, no predictions for me. Support and resistance right here, $23. So now that we're above that, that $23 is going to be support, and then that $28 is going to be resistance. All right, NVDA. Alright, so this is just parabolic right here. Awesome look. Congrats if you're in it. I believe, is this all-time highs for? Yeah, so this is all-time highs for NVDA. Not really seeing, anything, other than just a massive trend here. Definitely not something that I would be personally interested in shorting. These trends can last for, years. You never know when they're going to end. So, short term here, we've got resistance at 63.40 approximately. What you want to look for, and this is a really nice level here actually, since we've got several touches here. So, a close over that resistance level on the daily chart, probably send it for its next leg higher. So similar to what it did right here, you can see a lot of touches here, broke over that resistance, shot up here, traded sideways again, same thing that we're doing right here, same thing that we did right here and that we did right here, and then we broke over that right here, and we're forming another sideways consolidation pattern. So same thing that the S&P 500 and the other indexes are doing right now. So the trend is your friend until it's not. All right, let's check out YRD. All right, so YRD, we have a trend line break right here, but I'm not going to put a ton of weight on this. Just because it doesn't have too many touches, and the trend line hasn't been going on for that much time, but definitely something to be aware of. And what I mean by not putting a ton of weight on the trend line, I mean that I'm not interested in shorting it just because this trend line broke. I'd want to see more touches on this trend line for me to actually make a trading decision off of it. And I'd also like to see it last a little bit longer than what it has been. So let's draw some support and resistance. So right around 13.25, you can see it bounced from here several times, and it was resistance right here as well. So that's a key level. Another key level right around here, just below $17. You can see there was resistance right here several times, and those are the main levels that I'm seeing for YRD. Next, let's take a look at DG. Alright, so DG, I believe this was earnings right here, and a very poor reaction. Not something that I want to be stepping in front of personally, because this is just the bottom's just falling out. So when you see a stock behave this way, we got a huge gap down right here, and I mean we barely even took a pause, and we've just gone straight down. So this is pretty much just what I like to call just a lack of buyers, really. Nobody's really stepping in to support this stock, and it's just kind of leaking lower. Okay. As far as support on the downside, we've got this biggest volume by price bar right here. You can see it right here. So it could get a bounce right there. And you can see that we bounced from here several times as well. So that may be an area where it takes a pause. But again, not really my personal style to step in front of a stock right here. But definitely looks like it could get a bounce from this area. All right, let's take a look at Tesla. All right, so Tesla, main thing that I'm seeing right here is the resistance up here at $22. If somehow we make our way up there, that'll be a good shorting area for this stock. We do have this downtrend line, and then we've got that resistance right there. We're below the 200-day moving average. MACD is heading down. We've got volume right here, so not really a stock that I'm interested in getting long on personally. The only real play, trade that I would see on this would be to short it up here near $22. But right around here, not really interested in getting long or initiating new short positions. But definitely the trend would suggest that it is heading lower. But just as far as a risk-reward spot to initiate a new position, this would not be that. AIRG. Actually, I'm going to skip to Qualcomm because that's a stock that I know a lot of people will want to see. So main thing, we had that support right here, bounced off the 200-day moving average. So now that's going to be support. Also, this 56 level is going to be support. You can see there was resistance, resistance, resistance here again. So now this area is going to be support. We have the 200-day moving average turning up. So by the time, if it heads to 56, we'll also have the support from the 200-day moving average. Next thing I want to point out here is the resistance up here, right around 66. You can see from the lows here, lows here, lows here, and then up here near 71 to $73 is going to be that resistance. Kind of in an in-between zone right here. And this is not really an area that I would be personally interested in initiating a new position in either direction. Short term, we've got resistance up here at about 63.50 or so. You can see many candles getting rejected in that area. So that's what you want to be looking for the next leg higher, is a close over that resistance level. All right, next let's take a look at COTV. And COTV, let's see what I can see here. I'm going to look on the weekly chart here. All right, go back to the daily. So not seeing a whole lot on COTV. See some support here at 24.50. You can see that they've got resistance up here, and then we broke over that. So now if we retest lower, that's going to be a support level right there. Next, let's take a look at ATVI. This will be the last one I do. Alright, so ATVI, can see that we had resistance here, resistance, a lot of touches here, broke over it right here, and came back, retested it, and that's still going to be support, okay? Still going to be support. See if there's anything else I can see. It's really the main thing that I'm seeing on ATVI. I believe there's a trend line here. Yeah, on the weekly time frame. You can see the trend line going back to the end of 2012. We got a touch here, 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 almost right there, and we haven't touched it in a little while. So if we end up, for some reason, I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm just saying that you got to draw this line on your own chart so that if we somehow drop to this level, that would be a good buying opportunity, as this trend looks very strong. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for taking the time to watch this video. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to chat with you. Have a great night, and I'll see you next time.